What's popping off? What's good? I've been MIA for a minute, y'all know. But I've been getting a lot of things prepared because I'm finna go ham, and I'm finna really be ringing up y'all notification bells. So definitely turn that shit on, subscribe, and share, like, and comment because I'm definitely giving y'all acknowledgement check. This is going to be for mainly awareness. I want to say awareness, acknowledgement, and recognition. Not to necessarily partake in any fear mongering or any type of, like, I don't know, equivalency to some type of fear. It's definitely not what this is supposed to give, but all info fucking nation. All information needs to be presented. Further ado, let's get into this shit that's been the fuck going on, man.
Afternoon, we interrupt your programming with breaking news. Canadian wildfires are causing an air quality alert for the tri-state area for a second day, posing a health concern and danger to millions of people.
5 a.m., something unusual happened. New York surpassed India's Delhi and Iran's Baghdad in the way nobody even imagined before. On 7th of June, schools across the US East Coast have cancelled outdoor activities. Airline traffic has slowed down, and millions of Americans have been urged to stay indoors as there is smoke.
Sometimes I can't breathe. It make breathing difficult.
We had a big debate before the kids went to school about should we be wearing masks today. All their activities are indoors today. So on one hand, I'm glad it should be temporary, but a little worried about what I'm breathing up today.
Like today, I'm not going to go to the park. I usually go to the park every morning. I'm not.
As of right now, as we know that, like, there has been wildfires sparking off in different areas now. We know that wildfires are nothing really new, so it's kind of like it's not going to really make that much sense to me for us to really, like, you know, be all like, what's going, you know what I'm saying, like, all up through the fence about it. Hey, for the ones that know about the global warming, cool. Ones that are talking about climate change, cool. But there's a large story at what is going on at whole. So before getting into this video, definitely prepare yourself, as this is the trigger warning that you're going to get off this video. But I hope that you can stay here to the end because awareness is fucking key. Here's the thing. Now other areas are starting to catch on fire. Now it seems like a larger portion, bit by bit, time after time, more fires, or these fires are like spreading, you know, and it's the peak of summer. Like, we're not even in summer officially yet. So if this is the rate that we're going, oh man, we really don't want to see what it's going to look like in the end, but we are going to end up seeing what happens during the end. Some of these areas can't sustain itself enough to prevent itself from catching on fire. So with that being said, with the Canadian fires, right, there are so many stories about what is, like, really going on here. Like, what was going down. There was pictures of them actually spreading the fire, or videos actually. There's been so many other things they're talking about, like the chemicals that disappeared during its transit, that could have started this. There's also conclusions and nevertheless the conspiracy theories. We know, quote unquote, conspiracies, because they do be having the facts. It's just how they present the facts what makes it the theory. But the facts, that's what be killing me, because they do be facts, you know, like they really did like there's really videos of them really doing this shit. So it's kind of like what the hell. And then you also have the multitude of increasing alien UFO subjects that have been reported and seen, and that has been going up drastically. But these are not like any others that we've seen before. Like there's people. This is the 21st century. We have the internet, we have phones, we have cameras. Hey, like it's almost seems impossible to hide anything anymore. As far as like what's going on, as long as we stay in touch, right? Even though, you know, these booty lickers do be still trying to censor and shit, but come on, like there's still like so many ways that we can like literally converse and communicate with one another now that it's insane. And these reports are being like independently like observed, and you're seeing these videos and these things that are like, it's not just one, there are multiple.
A family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large.
We saw a craft. It was silent. It was hovering.
No, you can see like an outline of something. What is this shit?
Now it's not showing up in my camera.
Neberu, that's not the moon, it's not the sun, that's planet Neberu. We're fucked.
That was New York City. I was actually working in New York State tonight, and my phone died, and I could not record this.
Look at that sun.
What's happening? Like, what's really going on? Look at this. What's happening? Like, what's really going on? What the fuck? Something has reached a new level. And when I mean that, I'm talking about Gaia. Gaia has reached a new level here, a different level. And at this rate, I mean, like, half of the world is finna be on fire. So it's just kind of like we have volcano eruptions back to back, earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, these like wind anomaly catastrophic events like all around the world. And like, what the fuck is happening, right? They're even talking about a term that they call like El Nino. You know, I feel like you guys should definitely be more redirected towards like some like research about that. Let me see. So this is exactly what you're looking for. El Nino. This is the term that we are using, or this is the term that is being classified for describing the large open area of the most, like, the largest bodies of water, which we're talking about the Pacific here, and its duration, and that is the like simplistic descriptor that I'm going to give for that, because I feel like definitely you can independently tune into this El Nino. There's even some really good videos on YouTube you can watch as well. Of course, use your discernment and your independent research, but like, you know what I'm saying? So this is what we're looking for, to see what is going on here, because the events that we see are surface level. The root, this is the root, El Nino. The events, and I can't say this enough, if you're looking at surface level stuff, you never really get to the root until you actually do some research, or you're not going to understand what's happening, because everything we're seeing is a domino effect due to another cause. Even El Nino has a root, and that it could be a part of another domino effect. Oh, it becomes a spectrum now. So when we're looking at things as far as disasters and events that occur, understand that it sets a whole new premise of set of disasters and events that will run out like a complete domino effect, because now the premise has changed, and every time something else happens, a new premise is set with new events that are aligned with that effect. Okay, so not to turn this into word soup, okay, something major happens in this environment, it sets a whole new premise, and it is very, very vast, and it's very, like, how can I say, like, it's not containable. Where we're at right now in this point of time in these series of events is at an unattainable status, meaning that the radar is going completely off the chart. There's no way that, like, we're going to start to see the notices get lower and lower and lower and lower when these events happen. It's like, oh, okay, the earthquake, and you know, like, it's going to be after the fact. And it's going to be just like rainy days. Oh yeah, is there going to be a tornado today? Or, you know what I'm saying? We're going to eventually get to that point where we're like having thousands and thousands of earthquakes per day.
Why are there more and more destructive earthquakes in Afghanistan? The increase in the number of earthquakes in Afghanistan is a result of a rise of magma. Because of the increase in pressure, magma rushes upwards towards the crust and increases the number of earthquakes around the world.
There was no prevention because it was not expected. Within 1 hour we were flooded. Usually that flooding might be caused by 2 days of rain.
It is for the first time that I saw people desperately leaving their own homes to other places. That was the most shocking part for me. Imagine forcefully being asked to leave your own home because of a natural phenomenon that you don't have any other thing to do, and becoming a refugee in your own city or displaced in your own city.
So basically, the situation was really bad. Young kids got shaped who are in these houses. We recovered many bodies.
It just came with nobody aware. The area that they are working sank, houses sank, cars were taken off by water. I lost my friend in it, watched the car sink when I can't tell. And then I come back here in Fujairah, the same thing happened. And I think this is continuing. It's gonna go from country to country.
getting up there. You know what I'm saying? Well, this side's flooding, and this side is literally cracking. Ground's cracking. I'm probably like, you're going off of all of this because of El Nino, or you're going off of this because of the wildfires, or you're going off of this. No. Because like I said, there is a bigger root to this. We're getting there. But I have to explain these things to take you step by step mentally. What I am finna get into is going to be something that I have been into since I was literally in middle school. No matter what movies that came out, what movies that I witnessed, what information that was presented, what science that I looked into, which geographs that I was scanning and like observing and studying, and this, that, and the fourth, with whatever mythologies, religions that I've observed and studied and encountered. The information is leading back to one thing, to one principle, and it is called a cataclysm. I think the term that we are looking for is an ice age. So, before we get into what is finna be presented, I will state again that everything that will be said is observable, studyable, and researchable. Those are the factors to learning and picking up on some awareness and acknowledgement to this next stage. Because people keep saying, oh, like, we're seeing all this stuff happen, but no one's really trying to understand what the fuck is going on. There's an explanation. This isn't just happening for no reason. There's a cause and a what? An effect to what? Everything. Let's get into it. Have we entered a new ice age? Okay, now Google's not going to acknowledge this. Okay, so this is a search engine, but it's going to give you bottom line. So, will we enter into a new ice age? No. Even if the amount of radiation coming from the sun were to decrease as it has before, it will not significantly affect the global warming coming from long-lived human-emitted greenhouse gases. So, there is the greenhouse is basically about the pollution, the air quality, basically, but my research shows that this is not even what is causing what we're looking at. Okay, so the fact that they are conflating this and then telling you no is just not really baseline. This is why you always have to do further research. You can't just go off first tip you see. But thanks for the tip. All right, will we enter into a new age? Like, there is no ice age ever that can happen again, is basically what they're trying to permit. Google. Hey Google, that's false. Okay, so every single ice age recorded, right? If you go back into recordings and studies of ice ages and histories of ice ages, let's actually see. Let's take a look at that, right? Because I like to just go, right? So, so in fact, at least Ice Age hasn't ended yet. Scientists call this Ice Age the Stickney. I said that like so incorrectly. I already know. So they actually named the ice ages and everything. So they're saying that we're still in this ice age, and it's been going on about 2.5 million years. So you see exactly why I say you have to go deeper into this and study yourself. Google cannot do the work for you. Google's literally just the search engine. You see how that literally just contradicted what I literally just did? Now that I have permitted that, let's get into the actual information. See, I just wanted to permit that you still have to do your research. Google's not going to solve anything for you. Neither will any of these search engines that you would do, like Yahoo or Bing or whatever the case may be. Like, you literally have to go deep here. So I can do like about maybe 3 sources. So you kind of do the train. This is what I do. I do the train effect. So it means I will want to, let me go back here. You're like, oh, I thought you knew. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm doing something different here. Is I like to just, what I'm doing here is I'm permitting information with an actual panel, so you can actually follow along and understand like how information can really be collected. Like I said, I've been on this since I was in middle school here, so. Okay, so let's go on this first one that we just did. Okay. What did the world look like in the last ice age? The last glacial maximum, colloquially called the last ice age, was a period in Earth's history that occurred roughly 26,000 to 19,000 years ago. Thank you so much for that. Okay. I want to skip down to what's important. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna highlight all of this. Alright, so in a technical sense, we're still in an ice age called the Quaternary Glaciation or whatever. Right, here's another name, which began about 2.6 million years ago. You see that this was something similar to what Google was saying, but it's not exactly the same, right? And if we go down, of course, we're going to find other like sources to like these actually do lead to studies. You just have to search around for this. So this is still surface level, but I'm still just showing where you can start to get these sources to these studies. So let's continue reading here. That's because a permanent ice sheet has existed for the entire time. The Antarctic, which makes geologists call this entire period an ice age. We are currently in a relatively warmer part of that ice age, described as an interglacial period, which began 11,700 years ago. This geological epoch is known as the Holocene. Over billions of years, the Earth has experienced numerous interglacial periods and has had 5 major ice age. Look at these numbers. Here's my point. This is the only number I really care about right now. Never seen those red lines, I'm sorry. This is the only number I care about. Look at this. 11,700 years ago. Roughly, we are seeing these periods every 12,000 years. Now, they're stating that we never left the ice age, that we're still in the ice age, and that the whole period of the Antarctic is the ice age. So they're proposing simply, they are simply proposing the fact that how we see Antarctica that is presented is literally the effect of the Ice Age. It was an effect of the Ice Age that we're currently in. What does that mean? We are currently in a relatively warmer part. Uh-oh.
This is happening beneath the Greenland and Arctic glaciers and Mars. We began observing climate changes on the planets in the solar system back in the beginning of our research. Since 1996, articles have begun to appear that documented changes on other planets. We noticed that the processes on the different planets were simultaneous. Some scientists believe that this is related to the influence of the sun on the climate. However, as we now see, changes on the other planets are being triggered from the interior. This has led us to the idea that the reason for this is more global than the problem of one planet. That is why we started conducting an interdisciplinary research in climate change and geodynamics, and we saw that the reason for the changes lies outside of our planet. So in order to understand the full picture of the escalating catastrophe, it is necessary to disclose another key aspect, namely the cataclysms on Earth, as well as other planets in the solar system that occur cyclically. A detailed analysis of geological data has shown that 12,000 years ago, our planet already underwent catastrophic changes similar to those that are escalating now. So let's watch a video about this.
Changes similar to what we now see occurred before the peak of the crushing disaster just about 12,000 years ago. Those events are called the Alarid Oscillation and the Younger Dryas glaciation that followed. 12,800 years ago, global temperatures rose as much as 15 degrees Celsius within just a few years. Most of the ice sheet suddenly melted, and the Earth emerged from a full ice age. At that time, there were extreme floods and other natural disasters, along with an intense sea level rise. The Gulf Stream stopped at that time, just as it is happening nowadays. Scientists from the University of Kansas have proven that about 12,800 years ago, there was a giant fire on Earth that covered a tenth of the entire planet's surface. Other researchers have also found that large fires raged in Siberia 12,000 years ago. Similarly, nowadays there are more and more large-scale fires that cannot be extinguished. Based on an analysis of satellite images, scientists have discovered that 10 to 13,000 years ago, the largest known dunes formed in the Sahara Desert and other regions, indicating the enormous strength of winds during the Younger Dryas. A short-term intensification of winds during that period has also been documented from Greenland ice cores data and research in Alaska. Nowadays, the same phenomena are happening on Earth as during the Younger Dryas. We see winds, hurricanes, typhoons, and tornadoes intensifying and destroying entire cities, razing them to the ground. Right at the cycle change 12,000 years ago, there was a very intensive seismic activity. This is indicated by radiocarbon data, as well as paleographic reconstructions of the Younger Dryas. During the same time period, more than 12,000 years ago, as well as now, there was a drastic weakening of the magnetic field and a pole shift, which was called the Gothenburg excursion. The reason for all these abrupt changes was an abnormal magmatic activity caused by changes in the core. After the sudden warming in the Younger Dryas, an equally abrupt cooling occurred. This event caused a mass extinction of megafauna. Thousands of frozen mammoths and other mammals were found in the ice on the northern slopes of Siberia. There
happened a drastic decline in the human population, including extinction of the Cro-Magnon. All of those catastrophic events occurred within just a few decades.
It's approximately every 13,000 years. According to the geological evidence, during these periods, there was also a weakening of the magnetic field by 8-10 times. Let's recall that the same thing is happening today. Our magnetic field is weakening 10 times faster than in the last century.
What is the Ice Age? Ice Age is when Earth has had cold temperatures for a long time, like millions to tens of millions of years, forming ice sheets and glaciers, covering up large areas of the planet's surface. There is a period called interglacial, during which there are warm and cold periods, marked by glaciers melting or expanding repetitively. Here we go. We all know that Earth usually spins on its axis and revolves around the sun, but the tilt, oh my God, look, I want to tell you, they're going to tell you, look, before I bring up everything that I'm about to get ready to say, I just wanted to do this. I wanted to do it on purpose, because it goes deeper. This is all surface level. Remember, this is all surface level, because this is what we can study. Alright? There's more to it. But the tilt of the Earth, hold on. But the tilt of the Earth, but the tilt of the Earth, its orbit and its wobble change a bit over time. These minor changes affect the amount of solar radiation or insolation that reaches Earth, and hence it results in colder temperature. During the glacial period, when the planet was much cooler than it is now, and the ice sheets covered most of North America. Okay. To simplify it down, what we are experiencing, this type of weather that we have, like we have a winter and this, that, and the fourth, this is because we are in an ice age. We are in an ice age. I just showed that to show I don't have to sit over here and tell people this is why you need to get prepared for the ice age. All I gotta do is show you this. This will go on and on and on. What I gotta do to show, and this is still surface level, but look, this is the information people want to use. People want to go over this, that, and the fourth. If that's what you want to do, I'm gonna show you why the people that you backing up already told us that we're in an ice age. Thus, I go on more. So, where is this leading us? There's a specific reason why I kept pointing to the 11,000 some odd years, rounding it up to 12. Okay, it's because when this is being talked about, right? Remember, I said 12,000 years. But just like they said, let's scroll back down. The tilt of the Earth. Look, it's wobble. Let's open up a new tab. Now, let's enter some astrology. Surface level. What's causing the wobble? Blah, blah, blah. Still surface level. Does this affect climate change? Blah, blah, blah. Changes the Earth in the orbit. Blah, blah, blah. Still surface level. Here's my point. There's a term for this. Right? And I don't see it anywhere. Right? That will get us to the bottom of this. So this is what you need to search up. See, if you don't know what to search, you actually are not going to find what you're looking for. That's the thing. So what you got to actually search in. So I'm going to tell you what you have to search in. This is what you have to search in. The precession of the equinoxes. And here's what Google will say. Okay, remember, it's still surface level. But because of the slow change in our orientation to the stars, the position of the sun on the first day of spring, the vernal equinox, slowly shifts westward around the sky, which also moves it around our calendar. That is why we refer to the effect as the precession of the equinoxes. This is what they talk about when they talk about the wobble, when they talk about the tilt. This is what they're talking about. This is the tilt, and it goes deeper than that, right? Let's get more onto this, right? Let's go here. Let's see. What are they going to give us on this? Blah, blah, blah. We want some information. Okay. So, the precession is often referred to as a Platonic year in astrological circles because of Plato's record remark in the dialogue of Timaeus that a perfect year can be defined as the return of the celestial bodies and the fixed stars to their original positions in the night sky. The precession of the Earth's axis has a number of noticeable effects. First of all, the positions of the south and north celestial poles appear to move in circles against the backdrop of stars, completing one cycle every 25,772 years. While today the star Polaris lies approximately at the north celestial pole, this will change over time, and other stars will become the North Star. Second, the position of the Earth's in its orbit around the sun during the solstices, equinoxes, or other seasonal times slowly changes. This is probably still not making any sense to some of how this is all connected. I'm telling you that there's no way to disconnect our environment from our environment. Because we want to feel like we're separated, blah, 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 but we're not. We're not. This is the equinoxes. This is the pattern. Eastern star. We celebrate Easter. Vernal equinox. That's the fall. Okay. December 21st will be your death, and June 21st will be the apex. Okay, summer, winter solstices.
Lost civilizations, the Golden Age, Shangri-La. Might there be some truth to these ancient tales? Our ancestors spoke of a grand cycle, bringing about high ages of enlightenment and low ages of darkness, marked by the movement of the heavens.
Mayan astronomy looked at huge cycles of movements of stars. They actually had an exact date in their calendar for the beginning of the world.
Also, the long orbit period of 24,000 years will make the connection of our sun to a binary partner extremely difficult to detect. One sign we'd expect to see would be the changes in the sun's rate of movement. In a binary system, orbital speed is not constant, and theorists say it would cause changes in the precession rate.
As soon as two celestial bodies orbit each other, according to Kepler's laws, you have elliptical orbits.
If the current rate of speed were constant, a complete binary cycle would take almost 26,000 years. But scientists have confirmed that the rate of precession is increasing. In a binary system, this would mean that two stars are moving closer together, and the cycle would take much less than 26,000 years.
Let us hear the truth of what is happening from eyewitnesses of climate events around the globe. Notice how many tragic events you didn't know about. Why would you want to know that?
More and more climate disasters are happening all over the world every day.
After an earthquake killed
An earthquake killed
the climate catastrophe.
The news about them impress us, make us sad.
The Earth's axis points at the North Star, and the heavens have been revolving around that star since the dawn of time. Except they haven't. When the Egyptians built the pyramids, the North Star wasn't our current North Star, Polaris. No, it was Thuban. Why did it change? It's because the Earth's axis is moving.
This they point to descriptions of a group of divine beings called the Anunnaki, the so-called princely offspring of God, who according to the Sumerians descended from the sky.
This is like the beginning of a horror movie. Should we really be standing underneath this? What if it's actually like a meteor shower and like something's about to fall towards Earth?
It is a UFO above the world famous sapphire. I mean, there is something in the sky. It's red in the middle.
Evidence that there is other intelligent life in the universe has already been found on every corner of the globe. They believe Earth has been visited by intelligent beings for thousands of years, and that it most likely began during the time of the ancient Sumerian kings.
Yeah, notice the head of the man in Aries. There's Aries. Taurus is pointing to here. Gemini is pointing to the arms. When you put the man there, and the man in the sky is Adam Kadmon in Jewish Kabbalah. Adam Kadmon is this man here, Aries, the arms, the chest, the heart, the belly. Virgo is the belly. That's why you got any Virgos here. You probably noticed they have a nice little pot belly. My father's a Virgo and he's got his pot belly. He's always had this belly. We'd always laugh at him. Well, it turns out, well, he's a Virgo. So there's your summer and there's your winter, your good and your evil. Remember, we had hell down here, inverno. Now, first thing I want to bring to your attention here, I'm going to wrap 7 wheels around here. I'm going to wrap the body of the man. The head is always here. And then the Pisces touch the back of the head, immutable water, big cardinal fire. This is the starting line. And I'll show you why.
Well, I'm Graham Hancock. I don't claim to be an archaeologist or a scientist. I am a journalist, and the subject that I'm investigating is human prehistory. And I think that that incredibly important forgotten thing is a lost, advanced civilization of the Ice Age.
So what's basically being shown here is a map that I made based off of this procession that we are calling that has basically led back to everything, like even in the mythologies, religion, all of that shit's crazy. But yes, it really all leads back up to this. And this shit is just like, what the, it doesn't really create. This is because all they give you is surface level shit. But if you literally, you see how everything is just like, why is there different branches and different pockets of information where shit should be all together because it's not separate? But you see, they try to make it seem like, oh, it's something else, because if you started to connect it, you realize that it would be a fucking puzzle, and you would have the answers, and you would no longer be confused, and you would see the path, the journey, right? So this is the pattern of the system here, Ceres and our sun Horus, right? So Isis and Horus, and it looks just like our DNA structure because it, of course, it is the sine wave, and there's no choice. It has to do this. It must do this. It does do this. And then you see over here that I have the zodiac. People feel how they feel about astrology, but I'm telling you that there's no myth here. These are names of the constellations that clearly exist, patterns that have been clearly observed, and clearly exist. Like, there's really no belief here. How we're deciphering this, I mean, sure, whatever, have your emphasis, but this is how I'm breaking down and deciphering this. We were shown here December 21st, 2012, right? The galactic equator. And the whole myth of December 21st, that was thus this was an issue. Because how are we getting past this? Thus the theories began. The world's going to end. We're going to go off to the galactic equator, and it's just where everything is just that and forth. And people started panicking, and then I guess it seemed or appeared as if nothing happened. But I'm going to tell you, a lot did right here. It sure fucking did. Bless the ones all that are not to this day, but if you're watching this, you're breathing, and you've went through 2012. I'm telling you, this has impacted us greatly. Even what you're seeing now, of all these effects, this is impacting us greatly. So we have entered out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius. I want to say exactly 8 years after this. 7 trumpets. So we literally entered into the age of Aquarius approximately 7 roughly to 8 years after this shift. Whew. Now we are in the age of Aquarius. So that I did this map, okay, to show. Now this is Horus. This is our sun. This represents Taurus as well, and then this is Isis. This is Ceres, and the lines that are connecting is showing the pattern of these stars. So this is the pattern of Horus, Helios, and as you can see, that this is where they will meet. I would say mate, but this is where they will meet, and as it climbs up, it actually will get faster as they'll pull each other in, and then swoop. Like, a diagram would be better, so let's get that. So this is the whole idea of the precession of the equinoxes. This is the 26 to 24,000 year cycle. I have it right here. This is the same thing, and this is going to be the same thing. They talk about the tilt. The tilt is what is putting us in these different ages over a course of period of 24 to 26,000 years. So you see me break down so many different branches of things, and yet I still came to the same thing. You see what I'm talking about? So let me actually give like a quick diagram of like what this, or like an idea of like what this will look like. So I'll type in Sirius or Ceres. I'm gonna say Sirius, Ceres star, and R star, golden age. This is the best. Better if I had like a GIF. But yeah, let me see if I can find a GIF. Oh, yeah. So this is what it'll look like. Let's call this one over here our sun, and this would be Ceres. They will eventually meet simultaneously at both of these chords right here. So our sun right here, and Ceres right here in the Pisces, or I'll say the Vesica specifically. They will end up like right in the like just imagine that, right? Because Ceres is our spiritual star. That's more like, I want to say 10 times bigger than our sun to even freaking begin with. Look, okay, right here. Yeah. Bruh, yeah. Like, we're not even playing. But this is the pattern. This is legit the pattern. So it's just to show that throughout these long distances, we go through the courses of the dark and the golden ages. So if I come back to my chart, what I'm trying to get people to understand within this great cycle period is nothing that is too complex, but to simplify this is that of the course of this 26,000 year period, we go through the 12,000 year stages, 2 of them separated by the dark ages and the golden ages. Dark ages, golden ages, separated by these factors. Iron, bronze, silver, golden, where we are experiencing consciousness at a different level. So it increases and decreases over the periods of these golden and dark ages. As where we'll see in iron, that's about a 25% awareness level. In bronze, that's about 50%, going up to silver, 75, where we are now going into the golden. Eventually, we'll be headed towards 100% awareness level, and this will be affecting us by our consciousness awareness. So right now, putting us in the silver age, we are like escalating up to the golden ages. And technically, you could say we're in the golden ages, but heading to the golden ages, what puts us there is at a 75% awareness level, and we are rising up. So guys, you ask, you guys say, what is it, this generation? I'd say, what is the time period? Where are we headed? Where are we at? This as far as we know is location, bigger on a global scale, right? Because you may walk here, but where is Earth walking? And again, getting up here, this is surface level stuff. When you get even into the idea of space, it even becomes way more complex in how this is put on this chart. Space itself is complex because of how we look at it. That this is actually local, I say it's not. But of course, you have all of this that gives it like a location, a locational ideal. Ideology. However, I would just state that as above is what's so below, what's above the below is what is below what is above. 12,000 in the golden, 12,000 in the dark. So 24 to 26. Thus, the cataclysm. It's all linked. It's all connected. It's time to wake up. It's time to reveal. And it's never time to back down. Follow. Comment. Subscribe. Share. Now, I will be getting into more deeper aspects of what is going on right now. But this is some thoughts. This is some information that is out here. It gets so much vast. It sends you in a rabbit hole, but it's not one that won't lead you back. It leads you back. It's going to lead you right here. It's a paradox, and it's going to lead you right back. Literally. Right where you leave is where you want to come back. But this was really just some bottom line basic premises to get under the great complexity of this situation. And what we're calling and referring to as Ice Age, precession of equinoxes, the Great Wobble, the 24,000 year cycle, the this, that, and the fourth, the 2012 mystery. This is it. Without further ado, please go ahead and do y'all some independent research. Please use your discernment. As you see me literally just do this, but use your own discernment. Go through your own research. Go through your different pathways. It's a whole spectrum, but I just laid the premise down. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and definitely subscribe, share, comment down below. Tell me what y'all feel and think. And I'm gonna tag down my TikTok so you guys can go follow for my other series. But y'all stay impressed. Y'all know what it is. Y'all stay woke.